year that it's been crazy. And I give Mike and I give all those guys the stuff that stand next to that wall kudos, especially Justin Thomas, our player. He's almost taking a bumper to the chin. It's been that crazy.
He's tough.
Right? Or he's that dumb.
One of the
two. A really, really cool person to watch. Not only the 74 of Andrew Lagan, but the 11X of Don Schott. Now, Don Schott in this street stock is, dude, he's a rocket. This man can get into anything and make anything fast. He's goofier than all hell. I love him to death. He owns Checker Flag Asphalt. He's the one that does all of our asphalt and stuff around the track. But this man is very, very, very fast. You talk about a top 5 guy, but a guy that came from Eugene, and this is Chris Shine, the 24 car. Him and I believe it was him and his wife.
April.
That came up. April had a little bit of issues and stuff towards the end of the, or during, the main event and stuff like that. But Chris was god fast. This car was hooked on a rail. He could go anywhere with it, top, bottom, anything like that. Chris was way bad. Three-way battle between Don and Arnie Case and the 11X of Don Jenner. Don Schott. Jenner and Arnie would get loose out of 1 and 2 and fall back to 7th. After the restart, the 24 of Chris Sign, man, this is, like I'm telling you, Chris had the car. Besides Don Jenner, I believe Chris was the next person to have the car to beat because he was just that fast. Chris Sign got into Don Jenner and happened to be Don was still leading it and spun him out. So leading the race, and after the restart and stuff, they of course they're tight together, and on the restart coming out of turn 2, boom, and Don spins. Chris goes on the infield, comes back on the track, but spins Jenner out. Guess where Jenner goes back to? All the way to the back.
They put him to the back?
All the way to the back.
Wow.
Yeah, same with Sign. All the way to the back. So your leader that was leading it for quite a while now is to the back, plus with Chris Sign.
What lap was that? Early?
Yeah, I want to say top 20.
Okay.
Yeah.
So plenty of time to work with.
Ton of time to work with. The 74 Andrew Lagan and the 13 now of Don Briggs. This kid Briggs, this car, and I'm saying this car it wasn't really, he was up on the top 5 and everything else. Wasn't somebody I was personally watching because I really haven't seen him. But once it came after that next restart, once Don Jenner in the 8X went to the back, Briggs and Lagan were up there in the top 2. Okay, so at halfway point, it was all the 13 of Briggs. Briggs was out front, Joey Tardio. You had Arnie Case that went back to the back because of a spin. Once he came out, he asked the officials and stuff at the 50-lap halfway point. He said, hey, man, he says, do I have a flat tire? And he says, well, yeah, you have a right front tire from contact, spun him out. He says, do you mind? He says, man, we're already in the back. Do you mind if we go in the hot pit and change tire? He says, yeah, you can start in the back anyways. So out of 16 cars, Arnie goes in and changes the right front tire. Now he's dialing all the front brake into this car, right? Goes all the way to the back of the pack. Mind you, we have 50 laps to go. So I talked to Joey Tardio, and I said, hey, you're running second to Briggs. What is it going to take to catch Briggs? He says, man, now mind you, Tardio's running basically a pure stock car on G60 tires. What that means is that he's not running weight jacks. He's basically a pure stock car running a 2-barrel against a 4-barrel car, weight jacks, race car.
Sure.
So I asked him, I said, what is it going to take? He got 50 more laps to go. What is it going to take? He says, just patience. He says, these guys are quick. These guys are very, very quick. I asked Don. I said, hey, this is, Don Schott, the 11X. I said, what is it going to take for you to get there? He says, just, keep the tires cool, keep them to the very end, and we'll go from there. So then I asked Briggs, I said, you're out front, man. I said, this is your race to lose. What's it going to take? He says, just keep calm, and he says, just keep going. Come to find out is that on lap 3, basically lap 53, Briggs starts falling back. And what had happened is I talked to him afterwards, and his crew guys let too much air out of the tires to try because he was going to build air pressure back up and everything to try to get the car to set more, and it just basically fell him back. It was bad news. So Joey Tardio now is leading this race. You talk about the fans up in the stands.
Yeah, I can imagine.
reason why is because the week before he had motor issues. The week before that he had motor issues. Come out now and the car is stellar. 2-barrel running just tits, right? The fans are it's just cool. So Joey's leading this race. Who's coming up now through the field? Arnie Case. Arnie Case is passing cars left and right, left and right, left and right. We get 12 laps to go.
It's a bad dude at Sunset, man.
Who is coming up through the field now and running second is now Arnie Case. Joey, I believe, I love Arnie to death, and we're going to get him on the phone here in just a little bit. This is the deal. I believe if it wasn't for lap traffic and Joey couldn't figure out where to go because everybody was just kind of in the way, it would have been. I think it would have been Joey Tardio's race to lose. Happened to be because of the way the way the lap traffic and stuff fell in. Arnie just had just a better car on the outside. He loves to run on the outside, and that's where he passed him, and $1,000 richer. The crazy part about it is that it was very, very emotional for the Case family. One, it was, for his dad. His dad had passed away. Arnie had Arnie and Mike, our brothers. Mike is, the crew chief and stuff on both him and Justin's car. He put a prayer out there for his dad, and with that, he sat there and it was very emotional. His mom was very emotional and everything else or whatever. We're actually reading text messages that are coming in. Arnie, come let's call him before I start on the car. Actually, Arnie, if you
Arnie, give us a call. Pick up your phone, 503-991-2838. We'll get you in right now so you can get back to work on the race car. And let's talk about the big win at the Jim Swiftway 100.
Absolutely. So let's talk a little bit about it. 910.
No, 991.
Oh, sorry. 991.
2838.
2838. That's the Moxie line.
Crocker's Cars call-in line.
Yeah.
New sponsor on that.
Yeah, let's get Arnie on the phone. Let's see him calling in real quick.
I love talking with Arnie, and you talk about, something I think is cool is you listen to his interviews, first thing he does is he thanks God.
He does, very much. He's very, very religious. He's very
spiritual man, and just a good guy to talk to. I really enjoy talking with him in the pit area, and it's nice to hear something like that at the racetrack from...
Actually, we have Arnie calling right now, so let's get him on the phone here. Let's get this hooked up. Where are we at here? Okay, so all right. Hello, 1, 2, 3. All right.
All right, Arnie, you are live on the Crocker's Cars call-in line. Let's talk about the Jim Swiftway 100 and your big win and what it took to win that race.
What it took to win the race, it took a lot of patience, good setup, overcome situations that arose, and would do what we had to do to get us to the end.
So tell everybody and stuff that this was kind of emotional and stuff for you too. Is that you kind of dedicated this to your dad, and tell a lot of the race fans out there why you dedicated this to your dad.
Well, it's all tells for the fact that my dad is because he started racing when we were young kids, and so we're just carrying it on to generation with me and Justin 17, and he's coming up into it, and it's just grown from my dad to my brother to me, and now that I'm passing it on to Justin and trying to get him going the right direction, and for two fast cars to come out of the stall here, we're in Vancouver, Washington, it's real humbling, and what he's built up for us, the foundation is beyond most people can even get. So he laid forth the ground for us before he passed away, and so any chance that I can give the glory to God and thank my father for what he's done for us as his children and grandchildren, I get that opportunity, take that opportunity.
So let's talk a little bit and stuff about basic kind of the fall into the back at lap, before lap 50. You had a right front tire. You really didn't know about it until after you pulled in for lap 50, and you talked to the track safety crew and said, "Hey man," he says, "is there anything wrong?" And they said, "Yeah, you had a right front tire." You asked to pull into the hot pits because you were starting in the back anyways. What was your thought to be able to come up through the pack with 50 more laps to go? Did you think that you were able to do it?
I don't necessarily think that it could have happened, but more so the fact that it was very disappointing. I got into cardio as I was trying to get back on the track, and I didn't know anybody was coming or clear anybody, and it happened right then. And to drive the next 30 plus laps or whatever I did to from a car that's a rocket ship to something that was just a pile of junk and everything I could do to get it through a corner. So, when we got in, to that 50, and my brother's like, "Dude, you got a right front tire." I'm like, well, that explained everything why my car was, all of a sudden it was junk. I'm like, I knew there was something up with it. I dialed everything I could into the rear to even get the car in the corner, and then that bike coming off, that if I bit too hard, then I was going to find somebody on the outside, so I'd have to back out. So it was refreshing. I mean, it was just like whatever we had in the hot pitch, I got the beadlock on the right rear, so we just threw a left side tire on the right front and put the beadlock on the right rear and just said, "Hey, this is what we got, this is what we got to work with," and took the four jack underneath the tire rod in and straightened it out because it was bad. And within the first lap or 2 laps, I knew that we were good and that we were going to go to the front because the car just felt really good.
We were talking a little bit and stuff too during the halfway point. To Joey Tardio, and then of course I talked to Don Shaw. You were actually in the hot pit, so I didn't get a chance to go down there and talk to you for the race fans. But I talked to Briggs, that was in the 13 car that was leading it at halfway point, and I asked him. I said, because he had a very, very fast car. I asked him. I said, what was his what was it going to take for him to win this race? And he said, just to be calm and keep the tires underneath me. That's pretty much what Don Shaw said. Also, I asked Joey Tardio, I said, well, the same question. He says, a lot of luck. Now, him running that pure stock and running a 2-barrel and everything else, did you think, basically with 12 laps to go, you're passing cars and you saw him, 12 laps to go, you're right on the rear bumper, and do you think because of lap traffic, that's the reason why you got around him, or do you think it was going to be even harder?
No, I don't think lap traffic really had anything to do with it. It crunched us up because we had that yellow flag. But I mean, I seen him, and I didn't even really know he was the leader at the time, but I was reeling him in real fast, and doing so, and then they threw that caution, and I looked up the board and seen his leading, and then I thought we were sitting pretty big for the last 17 because that's what my car was, and the way it was rotating on entry and just biting 2-3 car lengths off the bottom. It just, I knew we'd have it. It was just a matter of patience. I stuck my nose in there a couple of times, and he was pinching the line down what any leader would do, to try to keep somebody back there. And I slammed my brakes, dropped the nose down to try to prevent from hitting him. And at that point, I just said, we just got to go to the outside. If we're going to beat this guy, it's got to be on the outside.
And that's exactly what you did. I mean, you went to the outside, 7 laps to go. Now, once you got out front, were the butterflies kicking in, or did the butterflies actually kick in once you saw the white flag?
I don't necessarily think any butterflies. When I got back out out there at 50, and I felt the car, underneath me, and felt the nose, set real nice going in the corner, I gave a thumbs up, to my brother on the backstretch who, eggs me on, lets me know where I'm at, and lets me keep pace, tells me to calm down, and if I start overdriving the car, and just keep the tires as fresh as I can, I didn't want to overdrive the car and burn the tires up by the time I got to the leader, and whoever that might have been, so it was nothing. I didn't have nothing. It was just, I got in my game, because I was very upset with, setting fast time and knowing that we had a fast car. And, that being said, for me to do that kind of damage to the car and disappoint, a lot of people who put the time in on the car. And so it was rewarding to know after the first 2 laps after the 50 that the car was back and I knew we were going to move forward, and so there wasn't no butterflies. It was just going to be a matter of time that I could pick somebody and put them down, just do it as clean as possible and don't give any chances of, getting into anybody and me getting a black flag going to the back. It was just, take your time with each car and get around as clean as possible. And
Right.
and move forward to the next one.
Now you talk about setting fast time. You said a 16.498. Now, mind you, you've been